Hey everyone. Welcome back to Money Tailors. Today, we're tackling a big topic, building wealth during a recession. Recessions can be challenging times, but they're also full of opportunities if you know where to look. In fact, some of the smartest financial moves happen when the market is down. In this video, we'll cover 7 money moves you can make right now to protect and even grow your wealth. From building a safety net to investing in recession-resistant industries, these steps will help you navigate tough times and set yourself up for a brighter financial future. Let's dive in. Move 1. Build a strong emergency fund. Building a strong emergency fund is the foundation of financial security, especially during uncertain times like a recession. An emergency fund acts as a financial cushion, giving you peace of mind if unexpected expenses arise or income becomes unstable. In a recession, jobs are often less secure, and layoffs are more common, making it essential to have a safety net. Economic downturns can lead to rising costs for essentials like food, utilities, and healthcare, which may strain your regular budget. With an emergency fund, you'll have the resources to cover these extra costs without stressing over where the money will come from. Aim to save at least 6-12 months' worth of essential living expenses in your emergency fund. Essential expenses include things like rent or mortgage payments, utility bills, groceries, and insurance costs. This amount should be enough to cover your basic needs if you were to lose your primary source of income temporarily. Starting with a goal of 3 months' worth of expenses is fine if you're just beginning to build your fund, and you can gradually increase it over time. Keeping your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account is a smart move. High-yield savings accounts offer higher interest rates than regular savings accounts, so your emergency fund grows a little on its own without taking on risk. This fund is for emergencies only, not for investments or daily expenses, so having it in a dedicated account helps keep it separate from your other money. Remember, an emergency fund isn't an investment, it's a financial buffer. Investments come with risk, and during a recession, markets can be particularly volatile, which could shrink the value of your savings just when you need it most. By keeping this money in a low-risk, high-yield account, you're prioritizing security over growth, ensuring it's there when you need it. One way to build your emergency fund faster is to set up automatic transfers from your checking account into your savings account. Consider reviewing your budget for areas where you can cut non-essential spending, like dining out or entertainment, and redirect those funds into your emergency savings. If you receive a bonus, tax refund, or any unexpected income, putting part or all of it toward your emergency fund is a great way to build it up quickly. If you already have some savings, consider allocating part of that money specifically for emergencies. For those who freelance or have a regular income, an emergency fund is even more crucial, as income fluctuations are common in these fields. Having a well-stocked emergency fund allows you to weather slow periods without going into debt or stressing over day-to-day expenses. It's also a good idea to reevaluate your emergency fund regularly, especially during major life changes, like moving, getting married, or starting a family, as these events can change your monthly expenses. In short, a solid emergency fund protects you from having to rely on credit, dip into long-term savings, or sell off investments at a loss during a recession. Building this fund takes time and discipline, but it's one of the best financial defenses you can have during economic uncertainty. Move 2. Focus on low-risk investments. Now that you have a safety net, let's talk about low-risk investments, which are especially important during a recession. In times of economic uncertainty, the stock market can be unpredictable, with frequent ups and downs that can cause major swings in your portfolio's value. Low-risk investments help stabilize your portfolio, giving it a foundation of reliable, steady returns, even when the market is turbulent. One of the most popular low-risk options is investing in bonds, especially government-backed bonds like U.S. Treasury securities. U.S. Treasury bonds are issued by the government and are considered one of the safest investments, as they're backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. Treasury bonds have a fixed interest rate and are designed to be held over a set period, typically 10 to 30 years, making them a stable, predictable source of income. Another shorter-term option within government-backed securities is Treasury bills or T-bills, which typically mature in less than a year. These bonds tend to perform well during recessions because investors often move their money into safer assets, like government bonds, when the stock market is volatile. In addition to Treasury bonds, corporate bond funds are another low-risk investment option. Corporate bonds are loans made to companies, and while they carry slightly more risk than government bonds, they often offer higher returns. During a recession, companies in stable sectors, like consumer staples, healthcare, or utilities, are generally safer choices for bond investments. By adding a mix of Treasury bonds and high-quality corporate bonds, you can achieve a balanced portfolio that provides steady income and reduces volatility. Another low-risk investment option to consider is high-dividend stocks in stable industries. Dividend-paying stocks are often less volatile than growth stocks because these companies have consistent cash flows, allowing them to pay dividends regularly. For example, companies that produce essential items, such as food, household goods, and healthcare products, usually maintain stable sales, regardless of the economy. Investing in high-dividend stocks provides the dual benefit of potential stock price appreciation along with regular income through dividends. These dividend payments can serve as a source of passive income, giving you a cash flow even if the broader stock market is down. Reinvesting dividends back into these stocks can further enhance your returns, as it allows your investments to grow more quickly through compounding. Another option to explore in the dividend space is dividend aristocrats. Dividend aristocrats are companies within the S&P 500 that have increased their dividend payouts for at least 25 consecutive years, proving their resilience and financial stability. These companies often have strong fundamentals, making them reliable choices for income-focused investors who want stability. In addition to individual bonds and dividend-paying stocks, bond ETFs and dividend ETFs are worth considering if you prefer a diversified approach. Bond ETFs allow you to invest in a mix of different bonds, such as government, corporate, and municipal bonds, within a single fund, reducing risk by spreading investments across multiple issuers. Dividend ETFs are similar, providing exposure to a variety of high-dividend stocks, which adds diversification to your portfolio and reduces the impact of any single stock underperforming. Low-risk investments like bonds, high-dividend stocks, and ETFs serve as a buffer in your portfolio, helping to offset the volatility of riskier assets like tech stocks or cryptocurrencies. During a recession, when economic uncertainty is high, having this stable base of low-risk investments can make a significant difference in protecting your wealth. It's important to remember that low risk doesn't mean zero risk, so it's still essential to do your research and choose quality assets that fit your financial goals. Move 3. Invest in recession-resistant industries. Investing in recession-resistant industries can be a powerful strategy for stabilizing your portfolio during uncertain economic times. Recession-resistant industries are sectors that typically perform well or remain relatively stable, even when the economy is struggling. These industries tend to provide essential goods and services that people need, regardless of financial conditions, making them more resilient in downturns. One of the most well-known recession-resistant sectors is healthcare. People will always need medical care, making this sector a consistent performer even during challenging times. The healthcare sector includes pharmaceutical companies, health insurance providers, hospitals, and medical device manufacturers. Pharmaceutical companies produce essential medications, which people rely on regardless of economic conditions. Big pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and Merck often have steady cash flow from their drug sales, which helps them maintain stability and pay dividends. Health insurance providers like United Health Group and Anthem are also reliable in recessions, as health insurance remains a necessity, and people prioritize it over many discretionary expenses. Another strong area within healthcare is medical device companies. These companies manufacture essential equipment used in surgeries, diagnostics, and treatment, creating steady demand from hospitals and healthcare providers. Medical device companies like Medtronic and Abbott Laboratories tend to perform well because hospitals and clinics rely on their products for patient care. The consumer staples sector is another solid recession-resistant choice, as it includes companies that produce essential goods like food, beverages, cleaning supplies, and personal hygiene products. These items are daily necessities, so consumers continue buying them even when they cut back on other expenses. Companies like Procter & Gamble, which makes everyday products like toothpaste and laundry detergent, tend to perform well during recessions due to their essential nature. Similarly, food and beverage giants like Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and General Mills produce products that are widely consumed regardless of economic conditions. Since people still purchase food, household items, and basic hygiene products during a recession, consumer staples companies usually see consistent revenue and demand stability. Another key sector that holds up well in recessions is utilities. Utilities like electricity, water, and natural gas are fundamental services that households and businesses cannot do without, making them less susceptible to economic fluctuations. Utility companies, such as Duke Energy, American Electric Power, and NextEra Energy, generate consistent revenue because consumers need to power and heat their homes. Utility companies often have long-term contracts and regulated pricing structures, which help stabilize their cash flow and make them attractive for investors seeking stability. Another benefit of investing in utilities is that many of these companies pay regular dividends, offering a consistent income stream for investors during downturns. Telecommunications is another sector that shows resilience during recessions. telecommunication companies provide essential communication services, including internet, cell phone, and cable, which are increasingly important for both personal and professional use. In recent years, telecommunications have become even more crucial, with remote work and online education driving the need for strong internet connections, making this sector even more recession-resistant. Waste management is another industry that often goes under the radar but is quite stable during recessions. Companies in this sector, like Waste Management Inc. and Republic Services, provide essential waste disposal and recycling services, which remain in demand regardless of the economy. Since communities and businesses generate waste in any economic climate, waste management companies tend to have stable cash flows and are seen as a safe bet during recessions. Investing in recession-resistant industries like healthcare, consumer staples, utilities, telecommunications, and waste management can add stability to your portfolio. These industries generally provide essential goods and services that people rely on daily, making them less affected by economic downturns. During recessions, shifting a portion of your investments into these sectors can help reduce the overall volatility of your portfolio and protect your wealth. If you're looking to add a defensive strategy to your investment plan, focusing on companies within these essential sectors can make a significant difference in maintaining steady returns during tough economic times. Move 4. Focus on upskilling for job security. Focusing on upskilling for job security is one of the smartest moves you can make during a recession, as investing in yourself is often the most reliable way to increase your value in the job market. During economic downturns, companies may downsize and job markets become highly competitive, so adding new, relevant skills to your resume can help you stand out from other candidates. Upskilling refers to the process of learning new skills or improving existing ones, making you more valuable in your current role or opening doors to new opportunities. Begin by identifying skills that are in high demand in your field or skills that could help you transition into a more recession-proof industry. For example, digital skills like data analysis, digital marketing, and coding are consistently in demand across multiple industries and are expected to remain relevant for years to come. Data analysis, in particular, is a skill that's widely sought after, as companies in every sector rely on data to make strategic decisions and understand customer trends. Learning data analysis or data visualization tools like Excel, SQL, Python, or Tableau can make you a valuable asset to employers, as these skills help organizations interpret and use data effectively. Similarly, digital marketing skills are crucial in today's online-driven world, with more businesses prioritizing their digital presence to reach customers. Skills like SEO, search engine optimization, social media management, and content creation allow you to contribute to your company's growth online, a valuable advantage when budgets tighten. Coding skills are also highly valuable, as programming languages like Python, Java, and JavaScript are used in tech, finance, healthcare, and even marketing, giving you a versatile edge. If your current role doesn't involve these skills directly, they can still be useful as supplementary skills that make you a more adaptable and versatile employee. You may also consider soft skills, like leadership, communication, and project management, which are essential in almost every field and often make a significant difference during recessions. Leadership skills are valuable not just for management roles but also for anyone looking to take initiative and show reliability, which companies value highly in uncertain times. Project management skills, including time management, task prioritization, and resource allocation, are useful for organizing work effectively and can improve productivity across all job functions. Learning to use project management tools like Trello, Asana, and Monday.com can further help you develop these skills and make you a go-to person in your team. The good news is that upskilling doesn't require spending a fortune. Many high-quality resources are affordable or even free, so you can improve your skills without straining your budget. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning offer a range of courses, often taught by industry experts, that can help you gain new skills at a reasonable cost. Coursera, for instance, partners with universities and organizations worldwide to offer professional certificates and courses in fields like data science, digital marketing, and business management. Many of these platforms offer free courses or free trials, so you can explore different topics without financial commitment, allowing you to find the right course for your needs. Google's Digital Garage also offers free online courses, especially in digital marketing, data analysis, and business basics, which can boost your qualifications with no cost. If you're looking for advanced certifications, some platforms also offer verified certificates or diplomas that can be added to your resume or LinkedIn profile to show potential employers your commitment to continuous learning. Many employers recognize these certificates and view them as proof of your skills, which can strengthen your application in competitive job markets. Networking with colleagues, mentors, and industry professionals can also provide insights on in-demand skills and advice on where to focus your learning efforts. Consider setting aside time each week, even if it's just a few hours, to dedicate to upskilling. so it becomes a routine part of your schedule. By regularly investing time in learning, you ensure that your skills remain relevant and marketable, giving you a stronger sense of job security and confidence in your abilities. Even small efforts, like learning a new software or improving a technical skill, can make a big difference over time and set you up for long-term success in your career. In summary, upskilling is a powerful tool to safeguard your job, increase your marketability, and even open up new career paths during a recession. Investing in yourself now can pay dividends in the future, ensuring you're prepared and valuable in any economic climate. Move 5. Pay down high-interest debt. Paying down high-interest debt is one of the smartest financial moves you can make, especially during a recession. High-interest debt, like credit card balances and certain types of personal loans, can quickly become a heavy financial burden in tough economic times. During a recession, many people face reduced income, job insecurity, or unexpected expenses, all of which can make managing debt even harder. When you're paying high interest on debt, a large portion of your monthly payment goes toward interest, rather than reducing the principal balance. As a result, the debt can take years to pay off and can significantly reduce your cash flow, making it harder to save or invest. In a recession, your goal should be to reduce financial stress, and eliminating high-interest debt is a key way to do this. Start by listing out all your debts, along with their interest rates and balances, so you have a clear picture of what you owe. Once you have an overview of your debts, focus on paying off the ones with the highest interest rates first. This is known as the debt avalanche method, and it's a strategy that minimizes the total amount of interest you pay over time. By tackling the highest interest debt first, you pay less in interest and free up money faster, which you can then redirect toward other financial goals. For example, if you have a credit card balance with a 20% interest rate and a personal loan with a 10% rate, start with the credit card. Each time you pay off a high-interest debt, the money you were using for those payments becomes available for other uses, like building your emergency fund or investing in safer, recession-resistant assets. If paying off high-interest debt seems challenging, look into options like debt consolidation or refinancing. Debt consolidation combines multiple debts into a single loan, ideally with a lower interest rate, making it easier to manage your payments. For instance, if you have several high-interest credit cards, a consolidation loan can reduce your overall interest rate, saving you money and simplifying repayment. Many financial institutions offer consolidation loans specifically designed to help people manage credit card debt. Refinancing is another option, especially if you have high-interest personal loans or a mortgage. Refinancing allows you to replace your current loan with a new one at a lower interest rate, reducing your monthly payment and the total interest you'll pay over the life of the loan. If you're considering refinancing, check with your bank or credit union to compare rates and terms, and make sure any new loan terms fit your budget comfortably. Some credit card companies also offer balance transfer options, allowing you to move high-interest balances to a card with a lower interest rate, sometimes even 0% interest for an introductory period. With a balance transfer, you can pay off high-interest debt without accruing additional interest for a set period, as long as you pay down the balance before the introductory rate ends. However, make sure to read the fine print, as balance transfers often come with fees, and interest rates may increase after the introductory period. Another way to tackle high-interest debt is by negotiating with creditors to lower your interest rate or monthly payments. Many creditors are willing to work with customers, especially during economic downturns, and may offer reduced rates or temporary payment deferrals to help you stay current on your debt. Call your credit card company or loan provider and explain your situation. They may have options for hardship programs that temporarily lower your payments or interest rate. During a recession, managing cash flow is crucial, and paying down debt frees up more money that can be used for essential expenses or invested in assets that grow your wealth. Each dollar you pay toward high-interest debt also increases your financial security, as you're less reliant on credit if unexpected expenses come up. Remember, high-interest debt is one of the biggest obstacles to building wealth because it erodes your cash flow and limits your ability to save and invest. By focusing on paying off these debts as soon as possible, you give yourself the freedom to allocate funds toward long-term goals, even during challenging economic times. If you're struggling to make progress on your debt, consider seeking guidance from a credit counselor or financial advisor. A certified credit counselor can help you create a debt repayment plan tailored to your budget, and many counseling services are available for free or at a low cost. Financial advisors can also provide insights into debt management strategies and help you balance debt repayment with other financial priorities, like building an emergency fund or investing. Building wealth during a recession is challenging, but eliminating high-interest debt is a solid step in the right direction. Once you're free of high-interest debt, you'll find it easier to focus on saving, investing, and taking advantage of opportunities that arise, even in a downturn. Reducing debt isn't just about improving your finances today, It's about securing your future and setting yourself up to thrive when the economy recovers. Move 6. Create a budget and stick to it. Creating a budget and sticking to it is one of the most effective ways to take control of your finances, especially during a recession. In times of economic uncertainty, having a clear picture of your income and expenses allows you to make informed financial decisions and prepare for any potential income fluctuations. A well-planned budget helps you identify areas where you can cut back and focus on building a financial cushion to handle unexpected expenses. Start by creating a recession-proof budget that focuses on essential expenses and trims down or eliminates non-essential spending. Begin by listing out all your monthly expenses and grouping them into two main categories: essential expenses and discretionary expenses. Essential expenses include items you absolutely need to pay for, such as housing costs, groceries, utilities, healthcare, transportation, and any debt payments. These are the expenses that allow you to maintain a stable living environment and take care of your health and well-being, so they should be prioritized in your budget. Next, list out your discretionary expenses. These are non-essential items like dining out, entertainment, streaming subscriptions, clothing, and hobbies. While these expenses are enjoyable, they are not necessary for your day-to-day survival and can be reduced or even eliminated in times of financial uncertainty. A helpful way to think about discretionary expenses is to ask yourself whether each item is a want or a need. If it's a want, consider whether it adds enough value to your life to keep it in your budget, or if it's something you could cut back on temporarily. After you've categorized your expenses, look at your total income and see how it aligns with your monthly expenses. If your income exceeds your essential expenses, determine how much you have available for discretionary spending and how much you can allocate toward savings or investments. A good rule of thumb is to aim to save at least 20% of your income if possible, prioritizing saving over discretionary spending whenever possible. If you're facing a potential income reduction, take a close look at your discretionary expenses and set strict spending limits in those areas. Consider eliminating or reducing non-essentials, like dining out and entertainment, and redirecting that money into your savings or emergency fund instead. If you find it difficult to cut back, try creating a budget using the 50-30-20 rule, where 50% of your income goes to essentials, 30% to discretionary spending, and 20% to savings. This approach provides a balanced structure, allowing you to cover essential needs while still leaving room for some discretionary spending. When setting your budget, make sure to leave room for unexpected expenses, even if it means setting aside a small amount each month. Life is unpredictable, and small expenses, like home repairs or unexpected medical costs, can arise without warning. By preparing for these expenses in your budget, you reduce the risk of going into debt or disrupting your savings plan. One of the most effective ways to stay on track with your budget is to use a budgeting tool or app. Apps like Mint, YNAB, You Need a Budget, and PocketGuard are popular choices for tracking expenses, setting spending limits, and monitoring your progress. These tools can link to your bank accounts and automatically categorize your spending, making it easier to see where your money is going and where you can cut back. Setting up alerts for specific categories can also help you stay within your budget. For example, if you tend to overspend on dining out, you can set an alert to notify you when you're approaching your spending limit in that category. Tracking your spending closely is essential, as small expenses can add up quickly without you even realizing it. Consider reviewing your budget regularly, ideally once a month, to see how well you're sticking to it and to make any necessary adjustments. If you notice that you're consistently overspending in certain categories, look for ways to reduce costs or reallocate funds from other areas. Another way to stick to your budget is to use the envelope method for discretionary spending. With this method, you withdraw a set amount of cash each month for non-essential items and place it in an envelope. When the cash runs out, you're done spending in that category for the month. The physical limit of cash in the envelope provides a tangible reminder of your budget boundaries, making it easier to avoid overspending. If you're using credit cards, aim to pay off your balance in full each month to avoid high interest charges and avoid accumulating debt. Budgeting is also about setting clear financial goals, whether that's building an emergency fund, saving for a large purchase, or investing in your future. These goals provide motivation and a sense of purpose, which can make it easier to stick to your budget over the long term. Revisit your financial goals regularly to remind yourself of what you're working toward and to stay motivated, especially when you're tempted to overspend. Building a budget and sticking to it may feel restrictive at first, but it's actually a powerful way to gain control over your finances and reduce stress during uncertain economic times. When you have a clear budget, you know exactly where your money is going, which allows you to make better financial decisions and stay prepared for whatever comes next. By following a recession-proof budget, you're not only protecting yourself financially but also building the habits that will serve you well for the rest of your life. Move 7. Look for opportunities in the market. Looking for opportunities in the market during a recession can be one of the smartest financial moves you make, as downturns often allow you to purchase valuable assets at lower prices. While a recession can seem intimidating, especially with increased volatility, it's important to remember that downturns can create opportunities for long-term growth if you're prepared. One of the biggest advantages of investing during a recession is the ability to buy stocks in strong, well-established companies at a discount. When stock prices drop, high-quality companies with solid fundamentals can become more affordable, allowing you to build a portfolio with valuable assets at a fraction of their usual cost. Start by identifying companies with solid financial health, which means looking at key factors like stable cash flow, low debt levels, and consistent profitability. Companies with reliable cash flow are usually able to maintain their operations even in tough economic times, making them more resilient. Low debt levels are also a strong indicator of stability, as these companies are less burdened by interest payments, allowing them to focus on growth or reinvestment. Additionally, look for companies with a competitive advantage in their industry, something unique that sets them apart and gives them an edge over competitors. A competitive advantage could be a strong brand reputation, proprietary technology, or even a dominant market position that makes it difficult for other companies to compete. Companies like Apple, Google, and Amazon are known for their competitive advantages, which allow them to weather economic storms better than smaller, less established companies. When you're looking for recession opportunities, focusing on blue-chip stocks, large, established companies with a history of stability and consistent dividends, can be a good strategy. Blue-chip stocks tend to have lower volatility and are often able to recover faster when the economy improves. Many blue-chip companies also pay dividends, which can provide a regular income stream, even if the stock price fluctuates during the recession. By reinvesting these dividends, you can further grow your investment through compounding, adding even more value to your portfolio over time. If you're new to investing or uncertain about picking individual stocks, consider investing in index funds or ETFs that track the overall market or specific sectors you believe will recover strongly. Index funds and ETFs allow you to buy a diversified basket of stocks in one transaction, reducing your exposure to the risk of any single company underperforming. A broad market ETF that tracks the S&P 500, for example, provides exposure to 500 of the largest U.S. companies across multiple industries, giving you broad diversification at a low cost. Another area to watch during a recession is the real estate market. While real estate markets don't always decline as sharply as stocks during a recession, economic downturns can sometimes lead to lower property prices. This can be a prime time to buy real estate, especially if you're looking for a long-term investment. If property values drop, it can create a chance to purchase real estate at a more affordable price, whether you're interested in a rental property, a home, or even commercial real estate. Lower property prices mean a smaller upfront investment, which can improve your returns when the market rebounds and property values increase. If you're not ready to buy a property outright, you might consider real estate investment trusts, REITs, which allow you to invest in real estate without buying physical property. REITs are companies that own, operate, or finance income-producing real estate, and they often pay dividends, providing both income and exposure to real estate as part of your portfolio. In addition to stocks and real estate, recessions can also create opportunities in other asset classes, such as bonds and precious metals. Bond prices often rise during recessions as investors look for safer, income-generating investments, and buying high-quality bonds can provide stability and steady returns. Similarly, precious metals like gold and silver are known as safe haven assets and can be good additions to a diversified portfolio during economic downturns. While buying valuable assets at a discount is a great opportunity, it's essential to approach recession investing with a mindset of patience and discipline. Recessions are often accompanied by high volatility, so don't feel pressured to invest all at once. Consider a dollar-cost averaging approach, where you invest a fixed amount at regular intervals, regardless of market fluctuations. This approach is particularly useful during a recession, as it allows you to build a strong portfolio without trying to time the market. When looking for recession opportunities, focus on long-term growth potential rather than trying to make quick gains. Recessions don't last forever, and while they can create challenges, they also set the stage for economic recovery and new growth opportunities. Investing with a long-term perspective allows you to benefit from the recovery that often follows a downturn, helping your portfolio grow as the economy stabilizes and expands. If you're uncertain or new to investing, consider working with a financial advisor who can guide you on creating a recession-proof investment strategy tailored to your goals and risk tolerance. A financial advisor can help you identify undervalued assets, assess the strength of individual companies, and build a diversified portfolio that aligns with your financial objectives. In summary, while recessions can be challenging, they also present unique opportunities to buy valuable assets at lower prices, setting you up for long-term growth. By focusing on strong, resilient companies, considering real estate and alternative assets, and investing gradually, you can take advantage of the market downturn to build a portfolio that thrives when the economy recovers. So, to recap, here are the 7 smart money moves you can make during a recession. Build a strong emergency fund to cover 6-12 months of expenses. Focus on low-risk investments like bonds and dividend stocks. Invest in recession-resistant industries like healthcare, consumer staples, and utilities. Upskill for job security to increase your value in a competitive job market. Pay down high-interest debt to free up cash flow. Create a recession-proof budget and cut back on non-essential spending. Look for opportunities in the market by gradually investing in strong, discounted assets. Recessions can be challenging, but with these strategies, you're better equipped to protect your finances and even find ways to build wealth. Remember, tough economic times don't last forever, but the smart financial choices you make now can set you up for long-term success. If you found these tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Money Tailors for more personal finance and investing advice. Let me know in the comments which strategy you'll focus on first. Thanks for watching and stay financially strong.